David from envisionselfhealing.com, and in this blog I'm going to be talking about circulation. I've recently gone to an optometrist over at the UC campus in Berkeley, UC Berkeley campus Optometry clinic. I was actually trying to go there to get prescribed a pair of an optical telescope, which is a way of magnifying your vision through a pair of glasses with a telescope embedded into them. And I'm doing this specifically so I can drive. It allows me to see into the distance. It's a piece of technology that I've decided I would go in that direction in order to drive. I've used one before, and I actually had learned to drive before about 25 years ago. Anyway, so I went into the optometry clinic, and they, the way things work in the world is I was supposed to go to the low vision clinic, but because I'd never been there before, they funneled me into the general optometry clinic. And the thing is, I know so much about eyes. I went in there and they were trying to prescribe glasses for me, and it just didn't go well, except that the doctor was actually very nice, admitted that I was in the wrong place, and decided he would give me a picture of my retina as a gift to make up for the fact that they'd scheduled me into the wrong clinic. So I know so much about my eyes. It was kind of fun just to sort of talk to him about my condition and what different aspects of my eyes I have, different issues. So when he showed me the photograph of my retina, he was discussing the nerve head where the optic disc is, where the optic nerve comes into the back of the eye, and showing me how mine is pale because of the lack of blood flow to the optic nerve. And he was showing there's it's a round kind of crater where the optic nerve comes in, and mine's a little jaggedy around the rim. And he was warning me against glaucoma, that I would be very susceptible to glaucoma because of this rim being kind of not very fit, being a little more fragile than average. So if I got glaucoma, there'd be pressure back on the optic nerve, and this ring here would be more vulnerable than the average person. So this corresponded quite a bit with what I had found in Brazil last week, in which our teacher Fernanda told the story of a client who had beginning stages of glaucoma, and in this exact area I'm talking about, this crater around the optic nerve entering in the back of the eye. And that this client, she worked with her with eye exercises for a while but didn't get any results. And then she put her on, she actually took her to another woman in Brazil who is trained in the Mayer-Schneider method, named Bia. And Bia she has muscular dystrophy and was helped a lot, well, more than a lot, by Mayer's work. And so she's very good at all sorts of muscular things, as well as vision too, but that's her main focus, I suppose. Anyway, she said she put this client on a regimen of swimming, of more intense aerobic activity. So when I went to the optometry appointment in Berkeley, I'd already had that in the back of my mind about increasing my aerobic schedule. And I've thought about this for years, but I wasn't sure how important it really was to me. So the combination of that and this warning from the optometrist, and I guess he of course the optometrist just wants to screen me regularly for glaucoma. That's his solution. And he would do surgery and drugs and drops and all that to deal with it. And he just assumes it's genetic and it'll just come on, by itself. For me, our perspective is, glaucoma, things like that are a result of lifestyle and lack of use and things like that. And they are the result of a lack of circulation. So this has really inspired me to start on a more intense aerobic program. So I wanted to discuss how that relates to circulation in our particular viewpoint. So one could say, well, just go out there and do, heavy aerobic exercise, and that will increase your circulation. But our perspective is that the muscles around the veins and arteries, the tightness of those muscles is going to affect how freely the blood flows through the vessels. So if you go out and just exercise aerobically, you may be trying to force blood through a very tense system, and you may just raise your blood pressure or something like that. It's not just a matter of doing aerobics. So we want to include stretching, we want to include massage, so we want to have a loose muscular system, then do the aerobics, then to improve the cardiovascular, the lungs, everything. And the result will be free-flowing blood through the system. And that's the kind of increased circulation we're looking for, not simply go out and kill yourself in some aerobics class. So that's the approach I'm going to be taking as well. Increase the amount of self-massage I do, tennis balls, getting massage maybe myself, and then hitting the gym and trying to increase my aerobic activity. So I'm looking to improve that. The client of Fernanda's, the result of that taking up swimming was they had done what's called a CMT, which is kind of like topographic map of her retina. Sort of like an elevation, to use architectural terms, of her retina at that point at the optic disc. And it went from sort of deteriorated to actually growing cells around this rim simply by taking up swimming. So to me that says you can restore nerve cells. Obviously you could also prevent the deterioration of this area. So if you do have increased pressure, it's a healthier system. It's a healthier tissue area around the optic nerve, and so that you may be able to take more abuse from pressure. And then we believe that pressure can be reduced by increased circulation. And as well as, the general doctor world out there agrees that macular degeneration is partially caused by poor circulation. Diabetic retinopathy it's not caused by poor circulation, but one of the results is poor circulation. So a lot of eye conditions are exacerbated or caused by poor circulation. So I've been really inspired to hit the gym in that way. So stay tuned for that. So if I am encouraging anyone with the risks of glaucoma, any eye condition basically, that circulation to your eyes is very, very important. But circulation in the way that we are thinking about it, which is massage, stretching, and exercise all together to keep the tissue relaxed and the blood flowing easily when you're pushing your system, when you're increasing your cardiovascular fitness. So take from that what you can and see for yourself.